Thank you very much, Rabboaz, and wonderful to see a number of familiar faces. The post-Purim feel in yeshiva has its own challenges. Coming back after Purim, knowing that the Zman is just only a couple of days or a couple of weeks, but I thought in the time that we have, as Rabboaz says, more of a sicha, shmooze than a shir in the time that we have to try to talk about a topic that is important for every stage of life. But I think especially at this stage that you find yourselves in these years of decision making, in these years of which direction am I going to take, where am I going to be, what do I want to do, right? Even the secular studies say between the ages of 18 and 23 are the major growth years. Hopefully we grow all our life, but between the ages of 18 and 23, that's really when a lot of the direction is chosen for where we're going to go and where do we want to aspire to? So I wanted to talk and relate to that a little bit. We know every single letter in the Torah, word, letter, every single dot, every single mark in the Torah is there for a reason. Kadosh Baruch Hu dictated the Torah to Moshe Rabbeinu, 40 days and 40 nights. He gave him all the Torah Shebechsav, Torah Shebal Peh. But as we know, the Gemara, every page of the Gemara is medayik in a letter, in a word. So Rav Pam asks, we just finished Sefer Shmos. We had no double Parshias this year because of the Shana Muberes. We've had 4 weeks at the end of Sefer Shmos, all about every detail of the Mishkan. Truman Tetzaveh, Vayakol Pekudei. And he asked Rav Pam the question that many Mefarshim asked. The Ramban asked this question. Why so many psukim? Such a repeat, over 200 psukim. A couple years ago, I had a son who was bar mitzvah during Corona. Vayakol Pekudei HaChodesh. It was long. So just right, and it was done. Yet Truman Tetzaveh, the commands of the Mishkan, Vayakol Pekudei. What do we need every single detail for? So says Rav Pam, there's a yesod gadol in life that we learn, and the Torah is emphasizing by going through the detail after detail after detail of Vayakol Pekudei. Because there's a big difference between Truman Tetzaveh and Vayakol and Pekudei. Truman Tetzaveh, the asisa, you shall do. It's the command, it's the plan, it's the tochnit. Vayakol Pekudei, vayasu. And they actually did it. And they fulfilled the plan. And they fulfilled what they wanted, what they set out to do. How many times in life do we have plans? Do we have hopes and dreams and aspirations? And we want to. And we plan on it. And then when we look back after the time that it was supposed to be fulfilled, we look back and it's not exactly as planned. It didn't work out as I would have wanted to, as I would have hoped to. The chiddush of Vayakol Pekudei is down to the last bolt and board and gold clasp. Kasher tziva Hashem es Moshe. 15 times. Kasher tziva Hashem es Moshe. Kasher tziva Hashem es Moshe. They fulfilled it. And the Torah goes out of its way over 200 psukim to emphasize that to us. Kasher tziva Hashem es Moshe. If we think about this idea, there's really two elements to it, two parts to this thought. First and foremost was, they had a plan. There was a plan, there was a strategy in place. The Ramchal at the beginning of his Sefer, the Mesulas Yesharim, tells us that part of the strategy of the Yetzer Hara is to get us not to have a plan. Just go, just live, do mitzvahs, and just go straight. But don't stop and think. Don't think about goals and where you want to get to. Says the Ramchal, if you look in source number 2, in the Mesulas Yesharim, Hine Inyan Zehirus, the first midah. Right, the whole Sefer we know is based on the Bryson of Avodah Zarah Daf Chaf. Zehirus is number 1. Zehirus, Zerizus, continuing. Says the Mesulas Yesharim, Inyan Zehirus hu she'eh adam nizhar b'maisav u'be'inyanav. A person has to be wary and careful in his actions. Klomar, in other words, misbonein u'mifakeach al maisav d'rachav. To think about life. To have cheshbon nefesh once in a while. What's my direction? What do I want to accomplish? In every other area of life, especially the financial area, would we just invest? Would we just okay, we have money. Where do I want my money to be in 5 years? I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll do it on the run. No, there's a plan. I meet with financial advisors. I try to figure out, where do I want to be in 5 years? Levilti azov nafshel sakonas ivodon chas v'chalila. And then he skipped down to line 9. Zos be'emes achas mitachbulosav ha'yetzer hara. One of the strategies of the Yetzer hara, lahachmed avodaso, to make heavy on us the avodah, even avodas Hashem. But sometimes we get so caught up in the mitzvahs, we don't focus on the mitzvah. We don't focus on the source of the mitzvah. We don't focus on the greater scheme of things. We're so busy, even in good things. But we have to have plans and dreams. That's step number 1. Even HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Kaviyachol, had a plan before he created the world. I don't know too many Zohars, but there's a Zohar in source number 3. This is one that many know. 4 words. Istako ba'oraisa ubara alma. Hashem looked in the blueprints. In the Torah was the blueprint of the world and created the world. So to speak, Hashem also had blueprints. Hashem also had a plan in order to create the world. So step 1, message that we learned from Rav Pam, from that thought about Vayaka Bakude, is that there was a plan. But step 2 is that they followed through and they acted to fulfill the plan. We need to follow through when we have an idea, whether it's a large idea, whether it's a small idea. I want to have a Seder in this. I want to work on my this. We have to, when we decide, we have to follow through. There's an amazing Rashi in Sefer Shmuel. Sefer Shmuel Beis, Perek Zayin, you have in there source number 4. David HaMelech finally gets the Aron back to Yerushalayim. Remember the story? Again, Tanakh is crucial. Got to learn Tanakh. It's crucial. And Sefer Shmuel, David HaMelech tries to bring the Aron back up, and he tries once, and you have the tragedy with Uzzah, and Uzzah dies, and they had to leave it for a couple of months, and then finally, it's back in Yerushalayim. The Aron is there. David was so ecstatic. Okay, now it's time to build God's house. Now I got to start building the Beis HaMikdash. Vayhi ki yashav hamelech bebeso, source number 4. V'Hashem iniach lo misavim mikol loivav. Hashem left him from all of his enemies. He had menucha. Vayomer melech on Nasan Anavi. The king says to Nasan, David HaMelech goes to Nasan, Nasan, I want to build the Beis HaMikdash. What do you think? Can I build the Beis HaMikdash? I'm sitting here in a nice cedar house, and the Aron is in a caravan. Is that nice? I'm sleeping in a nice stone, beautiful house, and the Aron is... So, you know what Nasan says? Vayomer Nasan al HaMelech. This could be, I don't know, if they ask the experts, the only time that a Navi made a mistake in giving instructions. David says, you want to build the Beis HaMikdash? Nasan said, go for it. Kol asher bilvavcha lechasei, ki Hashem imach. Yes, go build the Beis HaMikdash. That's what Nasan tells David HaMelech. That night, Vayhi balayla hahu, that night, Vayhi dvar Hashem al Nasan leimar. Hashem comes to Nasan in a dream. We know Moshe Rabbeinu was the only one that was awake. In a dream, Hashem comes to Nasan and says, Leich v'amarta el avdi al David. Go tell David, Ko amar Hashem, ha'tativne li bayis l'shivti. Are you going to build that? No, it's not for you. Your son will build it, but you're not going to build it. And if you learn the parallel stories in Divrei Hayamim, there the pasuk says, because David fought wars, Shlomo's a man of peace, Shalom. So you can't build it. Asks Rashi in the name of Rabbi Chanina Bar Papa of Siyum fame. Last time I had Siyum, all the sons of Rav Papa. So Rav Chanina Amar Rav Papa asks Rashi. Hashem tells Nasan, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, he has a dream. Go tell David he can't build the Beis HaMikdash. What does he have to go in the middle of the night for? Go tell David? David's sleeping. Tomorrow morning, after davening, when you're taking off your tefillin, David wore tefillin, Nasan wore tefillin, after go over to David, Hashem spoke to me last night. Plans changed. It's not going to work. It's not for you. It's your son. Sorry to break the news to you. Wait till the morning. Go tell David. Why go tell David in the middle of the night? Says Rashi. Amar Chanina Bar Papa. Amar Lo HaKadosh Baruch Hu l'Nasan. Ha'adam hazeh shani mishalechacha etzlo. This person that I'm sending you to, mahirhu. You think David's sleeping? You think David was told he could build the Beis HaMikdash? You think he's like at home relaxing? He's been on the phone all night. He's talking to contractors and suppliers and builders and engineers. If you wait till the morning, it's going to be done. Be finished. You think he's sleeping? You think David's somebody who has a plan and he'll say, okay, I'll figure it out when I come to it. No, go right now. Because if you wait, it's going to be done. He's a mahir. He's somebody who acts with alacrity. Shema yiskar polim. He's going to hire workers. V'nimseiti mafsido. He's going to have to hire. He's going to have to sign a contract with them. He's going to break contract. Go right now. Because David's somebody who, when he has a plan and when he has a dream, he does it. He doesn't wait. He takes that feeling of inspiration and acts upon it. Because we know as human beings, feelings of inspiration don't always last. Things over time, we feel a moment and then it could be at the Purim Suda we felt something and then already, maybe not. Do I really want to accept that? You know how many guys at my Purim Suda, you say, I'm coming Shana Bet, and then the next day, I don't know. But inspiration doesn't last. But we learn from David HaMelech, you have to take that moment and act upon it. Rav Ovadia Yosef, in Anafetz Avos, that's his commentary on Pirkei Avos, 1 volume, great, a lot of stories in there. So he quotes a story from Baron Rothschild. Somebody once came to Baron Rothschild asking for a donation. And Baron Rothschild says, I would love to give you, I just don't have any money on me right now. Come back tomorrow, I'm going to give you. Come back tomorrow. He's like, okay, fine. He starts walking out. Baron Rothschild says, wait. The guy turns around. He takes off his gold watch and he gives it to him. He says, here, take this. Give it back to me tomorrow. He's like, what are you talking about? He's like, just hold on to my watch and you'll come back. He's like, I'm not taking your gold watch. He's like, no, take my watch. He's like, what? He's like, right now, I know I want to give you. I feel into it and inspired, but I don't know if by tomorrow I'm going to have that feeling. But I know right now I want to make sure I'm going to do something right now so that if I don't feel the inspiration in the future, I'm already in. I'm already locked in, and this is what I have to do because I know this is what I want to do. Because when we feel that moment, when we have that dream, we have to do what we can to fulfill it. We have to start. We have to take upon ourselves that. And the Shemen HaTov, one of the Achronim, his name was Rabbi Bernard Weinberger. He's a Rav in Brooklyn, nifter a couple years ago. He says maybe that's the message of the Akedah as well. We learn the Akedah on Rosh Hashanah, and many wonder what is the connection between Akedah's Yitzchak and Rosh Hashanah. Did it happen on Rosh Hashanah? Lav Dafka. Not so much evidence to that. Why do we learn the Akedah on Rosh Hashanah? Another question. We call it Akedas Yitzchak. What does the word Akedah mean? Somebody help me out. What does Akedah mean? The binding, the tying of Yitzchak. Is that such an important detail to focus on? The binding, the tying down of Yitzchak? There was a lot that happened there, right? The burning of Yitzchak, the lying down of Yitzchak. Says the Medrash. He quotes the Medrash in source number 7, line 6. Amar Rabbi Yitzchak, when Amar Avinu was going on the way, Amar Lo, they were walking to the Hara Moriah, and Yitzchak says, Dad. He says, yes, son. He says, I'm a little scared. It's natural to be scared in this situation. He's like, no, I'm not scared of that. I'm scared that when you put me on the altar, when you put me down on the Mizbeach, I'm scared that when I see the knife on top of me, I'm going to be a little nervous and start flailing and moving. So, Dad, you know what? I'm 37. I'm pretty strong. You're 137. You know what? Tie me down very tightly so I can't move. So that when you want to do the shchita, it'll be a kosher shchita. And I won't move when you do the shchita. Kaftani yafe yafe. Tie me down tightly. Yitzchak had a moment of inspiration. He knew what he wanted to do, but he knew it might not last. So he takes precautions when he feels it, and he says, tie me down. Kaftani yafe. Okay, tie me so that, because I know this is what I want to do. Like Baron Rothschild, he took it into account, and that's Rosh Hashanah. Because on Rosh Hashanah, who's not inspired? We're in shul, the amazing davening and the shofar. We're all feel into it, but you know what? How long is it going to last? 1 year, I was on the YU campus for 20 years. So 1 year I was in Yom Kippur in YU. I had other obligations in other places. So 1 year, I remember that, I think right after my first year back, I think after Israel, so I was there for Yom Kippur. So after Yom Kippur, I was walking out of the Beis Medrash, and many of you might know, He was my Rebbe in high school and MTA, ninth grade, but he's also the Rav in Marsha Kola, Rabbi Yitzchak Cohen. It's a very austere, tall, Baal Musar. So I was walking out with him. So I say, Rebbe, how was Yom Kippur? He says, Shalom. I can't tell you how my Yom Kippur was. Can't tell you how my Yom Kippur was. Ask me in July how my Yom Kippur was. Now, how was my Yom Kippur? I have no idea. Ask me in July. Did it affect me? Did it change me? Did I take it with me? Ask me in July. On our family group, on our family WhatsApp group, we have July 1st, there's always, Abba, how was Yom Kippur? It's always, because they know this story. But it's about taking the inspiration with us. So message number one, we need dreams, we need plans. Number two, we need to learn from David HaMelech, from Baron Rothschild, from Yitzchak, to put those plans into action. Point number three, we have to recognize that plans and dreams take time. There are no automatic overnight fixes. We all want to learn a ton. We want to reach our goals tonight. We have to recognize that things take time. About 5 years ago, I received a WhatsApp. I copied this. I don't have to search for it on my phone. On my phone, it's saved as the Shas guy. Shas guy. Rabbi Rozner, I know it's quite weird that I'm contacting you across the globe. It's just that I've been listening to lots of your shiurim and sicha, so I think the Rav would be able to help me. I don't know who this person is. Never identified himself. What's your issue? Covering ground. I just can't. It's depressing. I managed only maybe 6 blot in Elul. It's not that I don't learn. I learn 12 hours a day. I'm also very good at shiurim, and I'm learning shlita. I said, you're doing great. If you work hard and use your time, then there's no goal of having to cover a certain amount of dafim. There's no inyan in knowing Shas. Take it day by day. That's all you need to do. How old are you? 21. Interesting. Based on my cheshbon, I think I will finish Shas when I'm 112 years old. Quite depressing. There's no chiyuv to know Shas. Just do your best. That's all Hashem wants. It's the Yetzer Hara that you're having these thoughts. Hashem wants you to just use your time. I understand what the Rav is saying, but everybody else seems to be doing it and covering more ground. 6 blot in his man is a problem. I said, whoever is telling you that you have to cover is wrong. There are different styles and different goals. You need to speak to a mashgiach that understands your strengths and encourage you in a positive way. There are no mashgichim in my yeshiva. I said, that's a problem. In a way, you need to find someone who could... I want to learn it all. True story. See, Shas guy. That's how he saved on my phone. I have no idea who he is. Maybe he's sitting in this room. I don't think so. But things take time. We have to have plans. We have to try to do them. We have to recognize that plans take time. Rav Yossi Nechemia Kornitzer, the last Rav in Krakow, before the war, was the father-in-law of Shapsi Frankel. When he used the Frankel Rambams, it's his father-in-law. So if you look in source number 8, he talks about how if you look in Maisa Bereshis, it's very interesting that so many things in Maisa Bereshis weren't finished right away. Right? When did the grass grow? Remember the Rashi in Sefer Bereshis? The grass grew on day 1, but it didn't come out until day 3 maybe. It didn't come out until day 6, till Adam davened for it. When was the Shamayim created? Well, it started on day 2 and then ended on day 3. What about the sun and the moon and the stars? Right, it was created earlier in Maisa Bereshis, but it was hung in their spots on day 4, on Wednesday. Why didn't you just create the sun and the moon and the stars and put it in its place? Why didn't you add the grass and let it grow? Because even in Maisa Bereshis, the message is that plans take time. And you got to have patience. And you got to persevere. And you got to start and push it. And at the end of the Zman, we can look back. At the end of the Zman, like a Chorif Zman, look back and say, where was I 6 months ago? And where am I now? But if I would have looked every day, what's going on? Did I grow? Have I covered? You don't notice it. But plans and dreams take time. Like a person is compared to a tree. Ki adam eitz hasadeh. It takes time for trees to grow. So we have to do our best to start. But we have to recognize that things take time. So number 1, let's review what we're up to. Number 1, we all have to have dreams and aspirations and plans and cheshbon nefesh. Number 1. Number 2, we have to do our best to, if we have that idea and dream and plan, start, put it into action. Like David HaMelech, like Yitzchak Avinu, like Baron Rothschild. Number 2, number 3, to recognize that plans and dreams take time to fulfill. Number 4, there are 5 points. Number 4, we have to recognize that any challenge that we have in fulfilling our plans and dreams is personally tailored from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Every one of us has our own package in life, our own family package, our own mental, financial, emotional package. And HaKadosh Baruch Hu gives us the tools to succeed because each of us have a job to fulfill in life that nobody else could fulfill. Rav Kook has a beautiful thought in his siddur. Some of you might have heard this. They say that Rav Soloveitchik didn't quote too many Rav Kooks, but he liked this one. So Rav Kook in his siddur, in source number 9, we say on Yom Kippur, Elokai, towards the end of Shemona Esrei, Ad shelo notzarti eni chadai. Before I was created, eni chadai. I wasn't ro'ui. I wasn't fitting. V'achshav shenotzarti ki'ilu lo notzarti. Says Rav Kook, what does that mean? Elokai Hashem, Ad shelo notzarti. Before the moment that I was born, Eini Chedai, I had no purpose in life. None of us was supposed to be born into the generation of Rabbi Akiva Eiger, or the Rambam, or Rabbi Akiva. Each of us were born into the specific generation and moment in life that was supposed to be born. You know, out there in the world, there's something called the due date. Oh, were you before the due date, after the due date? Your due date was the day that you were born in HaKadosh Baruch Hu's world. Right? That's the due date, because that's the moment. Our birthday is the day that HaKadosh Baruch Hu felt the world can no longer exist without me. I need this person to fulfill his shlichus. Says Rav Soloveitchik in source number 10, Ha'adam nivra b'tor shliach. We are each a messenger from God. Etzem yitzira, the fact that we were created in a certain family situation, in a certain financial situation, in a certain social setting, was because Hashem says you have a job to do right in this situation. And any challenge that you have is specifically tailored to you. Your eyesight, your looks, your brains, everything. And you could do it. Yechezkel Abramsky says every single morning when a Jew wakes up, the first words that come out of our mouth, that should come out of our mouth. Just tell you, just parenthetically, my next door neighbor has one of his times when he was out of Gaza. He's good friends with my kids. I had 3 boys in Gaza for a couple of most of the past 4 months. So one of them came over. Whenever he came out, he came over, give him a hug. I said, "No, what's going on?" He says, "Rebbe," says, "what should I be makabel?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" He says, when I first went into Gaza, I was makabel something, and I figured, lizchus. I was makabel to make sure to say moda'ani every morning. The first word out of my mouth, however long I slept. Moda'ani. So what should I be makabel now? I said, I have to give you another hug. So I give him another hug. I said, you know what? You have a moda'ani, how about a mapil? The morning, so we spoke about a mapil. Moda'ani, the first words. Moda'ani lefanecha. Hashem, thank you. Hashem, I admit. Shachazarti bi nishmasi b'chemla. You return to me, my neshama, with compassion. Rabba, finish it. Emuna secha. Great is your emuna. Your emuna. Yes, Yechezkel Abramsky. Shouldn't we start off the day? Hashem, I have a lot of emuna in you. Rabba emuna si. What do you mean, Rabba emuna secha? Great is your emuna. Great is my emuna. No. If I woke up and HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave me another day and I'm breathing and my circulatory system is working and my respiratory system is working and everything's good, and I woke up, it must be that Hashem, you believe in me. It must be that you think that I have a tachlis to fulfill today. It must be that you think that I have to accomplish something today. Rabba, the first thing we say every day, Rabba emuna secha, your emuna. You must believe that I could do it with all my challenges. And that's point number 4, to recognize, have a plan, start doing it. It takes time. But any challenge that we have, and everybody has challenges, we could be successful. I heard probably about, 35 years ago, I don't remember who he quoted, Rabbi Frand, in one of these, used to be Torah tapes in the olden days. But I remember he quoted that the pasuk says by the sneh. by the Snem, Moshe Rabbeinu, if you remember, turn the page now, turn 2 pages. Turn to source 13, second to last source. Moshe Rabbeinu, if you remember, does not want to go down to Mitzrayim. No way, no how. No, I don't want to go. They don't deserve it. Send somebody else. Hashem's like, you got to go. It's time. You have to go back. There's no excuse. So finally, Moshe Rabbeinu says, I got it. He's got a secret weapon. Hashem, I have a speech impediment. I have a speech impediment. Kfad peh v'kfad lashon anochi. I'm sorry, I can't go. I can't be the leader. I have a speech impediment. What would we expect the next pasuk to be? And Hashem says to Moshe, abracadabra, no speech impediment. Hashem could do that. Hashem could get rid of any. You're right, speech impediment, no more speech impediment. No. It's not what the pasuk says. Hashem says, don't worry about it, you'll be good. Aaron will help you out if you need. You'll be okay. Why didn't Hashem just heal him? Why didn't Hashem just say, okay, good kasha, good taina, no more speech impediment? No. So my friend quoted somebody who said, because Hashem was teaching him and all of us to be the world's greatest leader doesn't mean you have to be born perfect. It doesn't mean that everything's got to be glot and no challenges. With our speech impediment, with our challenges, we could do it, we could succeed. Because it's all tailor-made for us. Remember, this thought came alive for me. I met probably about 25 years ago. Remember, I received an email. There was still email then. 25 years ago, I received an email from somebody in Germany. He was listening to my shiurim. Rabbi Rozner had a question. I was like, I love your shiurim. I'm like, great, wonderful. So we emailed over the years. And he's like, I'm here. What are you doing in Germany? I'm doing kiruv. I give shiurim. And I this and that, all this. I'm like, wonderful, amazing. Hope to meet you one day. Fast forward about 20 years. Somebody walks into my shul in Beit Shemesh, probably about 10, 15 years ago. Rabbi Rozner, I'm the guy from Germany. I'm like, wow, great to meet you. He married the daughter of somebody in my shul. Amazing, wonderful. I'm talking to him and I realize he has a stutter, like a serious stutter. And I'm thinking to myself, how does this guy give shiurim? How does this guy, and how do people have the patience to listen to him? Sometimes if you're talking to somebody who's a starter, and yet he's a successful mikarev, successful mechanech. He makes videos on H.com. It's unbelievable. It's mamish this thought. Kfad peh v'kfad lashon, but you could do it. Hashem could give you the koach. Number 1, gotta have dreams. Number 2, fulfill them, act, start. Number 3, recognize that things take time. Number 4, every challenge along the way, Kadosh Baruch Hu gives us the koach to do. He has belief in us. Rab emunasecha. Fifth and final point. Yes, we have to have dreams and we have to fulfill. But the next one, maybe we have to talk to our Rebbeim about. We have to make sure that those dreams are far, but they are attainable. If we make a dream, you know what? I want to finish Bavli and Yerushalmi in my Shana Aleph. That's what I want to do. Lev HaTorah is an amazing yeshiva. That's my goal. So, is that attainable? Maybe for some people, not for me. Maybe for some, amazing Iluyim. Maybe now art school has all the Yerushalmis. Okay, it's still a challenge. Rav Mordechai Eliyahu says, "Kisivne bayis chadash." When you build your house of dreams, put a fence. Make sure it's in the world of reality. Yes, it shouldn't be lower. It should be a fence on the roof. But it's got to be in the world of reality so that I could shoot for it and get there and then have another dream. So life's about having dreams, fulfilling, capitalizing on those dreams, doing the best we can, and in that way bringing nachas ruach to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So this is important for every stage of life. But I'll add a few points. Number 1, right now, post-Purim, pre-Bein Hazmanim, right now to sit sometime over the next couple of days. What are my goals for the next week, but really for the next month? Bein Hazmanim, not in yeshiva. What are my goals for Kayitzman? What are my goals for next year? To sit and think and then do it and then capitalize. It's all about dreams, but in a larger sense, Again, this is the Sikha, but in a large sense to think about also, where do I want to be in life geographically? That is a huge question and discussion to have. These years in yeshiva, which are the best years of one's life, Gan Eden, no other responsibilities, just learning Torah with your Rebbeim. But Baruch Hashem, there are now options to stay in Eretz Yisrael, to stay in this wonderful land. Whether it's pre-army, post-army, however one wants, Baruch Hashem, amazing resources that this yeshiva supplies and supports for going into the army, pre, during, and post. So whatever one is ready to get a degree, to want to stay in Eretz Yisrael, stay in the land of Israel, stay in the state of Israel, to be able to get a degree, Baruch Hashem, I'm privileged to be able to starting to be part of the team at Machon starting in September. I'll be giving shiur there every day, Gemara shiur, other programs that we'll be having to really create a Torah environment. Again, in the afternoon are all the coursework. There are 6 or 7 majors now. We have in the back, we have a representative from Machon. Any questions for me? He probably knows more of the details, but it's something on the map. When a few months ago, when this first came out, that I was moving there, so I got a WhatsApp from a Talmud of mine, who was a Talmud of mine maybe he's around your age, I don't know, but in Florida, and his son is learning in Shalom this year, so he WhatsApped me, he says, my son just WhatsApped me, he says Machon Lev is Shaykh now. So that was gave me a lot of nachas. But the point is to get it on the map, to recognize that if one wants to do a serious degree in any of the options in English, again, the goal is to obviously be integrated into Israeli society, B'ez Hashem, but it's hard to do, a degree with all the coursework in Hebrew automatically after 1 or 2 years in Eretz Yisrael, in the yeshiva. So the options are to have an English degree, but my job is the Torah part of it. The mornings, again, Gemara, Machshava, programming. We'll have Shabbatons. It'll be a real mishpacha feel. Beautiful campus. Hopefully later in the year we'll have a Shabbaton for anybody who's interested. Possibly, again, as long as you're here in yeshiva, stay in yeshiva. This is not in place of. You're Shana Aleph, come Shana Bet. If you're Shana Bet, you want to do the army, do the... Whatever you finish with all of that, to think about Machon Lev, to think about the Torah that we could offer in Yerushalayim, Yerakodesh, and B'ez Hashem, it's an option, not to decide today, but at least to think about that is a possibility. And B'ez Hashem, we'd love to have you to schmooze about it and to have you join us. But again, the key today is think about dreams. Think about dreams, aspirations, and B'ez Hashem should give us all the siyata d'shmaya to be able to capitalize, to fulfill, and to be able to bring a lot of nachas ruach to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Thank you very much.